In this episode, you have the chance to meet Dr. Herman Felton, president of Wiley University. He discusses the unique challenges of visionary leadership in higher education, and he shares some of the cool and unique ways he balances the demands of work, finds rest, and stays motivated. Dr. Felton has served as the 17th president and CEO of Wiley University since 2018, while leading transformative initiatives, including the modernization of the Thomas W. Cole Library and the renovation of the university's radio station and training facilities. Dr. Felton is an advocate, of course, for student well-being, committed community leader, and he is an experienced educator and Marine veteran. A co-founder of the Higher Education Leadership Foundation, Dr. Felton brings a decade of leadership experience at historically Black colleges and universities. He's a Juris Doctorate and a PhD, with 8 years of service in the United States Marine Corps. Thank you for your service. Let's welcome to the podcast, Dr. Herman Felton. It's hard to believe that I've been around for nearly 6 decades, and for over 4 of them, I have been working, I've been leading, and I've been growing. You know, I've learned a thing or two along the way. You want to know one of the biggest lessons I've discovered? After years of climbing the corporate ladder, leading my family, managing teams, and striving for success, I needed a hard reset. So for nearly 40 days, 38 to be exact, I unplugged. I stepped back, I reconnected with my purpose, and I reimagined what life and leadership could actually look like for the remainder of my time as a leader. The time of unplugging sparked this very important conversation, one that I want to have with you. I'm Kelley Cornish, and this is Life and Leadership Unplugged. Let's dive in. Great having you, Dr. Felton. Thanks for joining us.
It is my pleasure to be here.
My goodness, I'm so excited about this conversation. So, as I think about leadership and I think about the role that you had as the president and CEO of Wiley University, I would love for you to tell us, if you can, what is a day in a life of the president of Wiley University like?
The beauty of that question is that I can go so many different ways.
I know.
And it's also the beauty of the work.
Mhm.
It changes.
Mhm.
I know that advocacy for my students is non-negotiable.
Right.
So every day I'm going to be advocating for my students.
Mhm.
Also, this insatiable appetite to find resources
Yeah.
to create a better for them is also there. But I can find myself in DC speaking to legislators on a national level. I can find myself in Little Rock, Arkansas,
Wow.
speaking to a Wiley club. I can find myself in the great state of Seattle, where we have a good migration of alums out there advocating for opportunities. It is a wonderful and beautiful concoction of change.
Mhm.
A day in a life is that. But when I'm on campus, primarily my day revolves around students.
Students, yeah.
Open door access to me. I live on the campus. And so eating in the caf is one of the greatest treats.
And the food is so good, by the way.
I believe that. I believe that. So that day is it's sandwiched between policy decision making. It could be land acquisition. It could be strategy meetings about growing the academic programs. But central is going to be advocacy for our students and advocacy for resources to better their experience here.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And you've been here 7 years.
Yes.
7 years. And so what keeps you grounded? It's the work is just massive. So how do you stay grounded?
I believe others may feel this way, but I absolutely am doing what I was put on this earth to do. And I wish that for everybody to
Absolutely.
experience purpose and passion with employment. because it doesn't feel like I'm laboring in anything other than God's vineyard
Wow.
for service. And I am a person who didn't have a great experience K-12 with education, but my experience at an HBCU, Edward Waters College then, but now Edward Waters University, was the platform for me to take a quantum leap into areas that I had no idea
Wow.
that I would fall into. So this isn't work. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have a bad day. I question folks that are around me all the time. Have you ever seen me off or having a bad day? I just love what I do. And I believe that this is precisely where God ordained me to be. So it doesn't feel like I need to recharge or I'm dragged by the work. I
Wow.
may need to recharge from the frenetic pace
Right.
that I
Right.
run at,
Right.
but
Right.
the work is it. And I just know that God designed me,
To do this.
in addition to being a husband and a father and a friend, to be a Black college president
Wow.
at Wiley University.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
As they say, for such a time as this, right?
Yes.
So, in passion, I think all of us, and especially when you get to a certain age and you're working, you're at the point where you know it is your passion that drives you.
Yeah.
If not, you're completely miserable in whatever you're
Absolutely.
doing, right?
Absolutely.
However, that passion can bring such levels of energy that it's hard to come down.
Yes.
So, how do you find rest? How do you make that happen for yourself?
So you can do it, I believe, one of two ways. You can govern it yourself, or the body will govern it for you.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I've had the unfortunate experience of both. And we try to impress this idea of work-life integration. I don't know that there's work-life balance,
Never.
but figuring out how you integrate work
Mhm.
and life together to make it easier. Also, um, I get in trouble oftentimes by our chief operating officer at the college because there's some things that I'm just not going to do,
Okay.
places that I just won't go
Right.
that
Right.
ordinarily I would have in the
Mhm.
past. And my first question is impact. How does this impact
Absolutely.
what is beneficial for me,
Mhm.
which is for Wiley University? If it doesn't impact Wiley, I'm not going. I'm not enamored with being on a panel
Right.
or coming to speak someplace.
Right.
All that is
Mhm.
not a thing for me. So
Mhm.
I think when you have this very clear resolve about what matters,
Mhm.
that helps
Absolutely.
with that as well. It helps
Helps with the
bring it to
boundaries.
it helps with
The
that,
boundaries, yes.
right? Like
Mhm.
it really does. And staying really focused so that mission creep doesn't occur.
Yes. Yes.
Mission for me is Wiley.
Mhm.
And I have some other things that are important, and that leaves little room for anything else.
Wow.
And central in that is resting
Right.
and riding my Harley
A
and playing
Harley.
golf.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I love it. I love it.
flying a Cessna,
Okay.
and being with my kids and my family. So there are things that
Excellent.
I know are
Mhm.
absolutely going to happen, and then everything else outside of what I am, put on this earth to do,
Right.
all that stuff falls to the wayside. And what I learned was that I do have more time than I thought I did.
Absolutely.
But having the
right.
courage to say, no, I'm not coming to that.
Mhm.
Thank
Mhm.
you, no,
Mhm.
um, has really enriched my personal development and confidence,
I
to
love
be
it.
quite honest with you.
I
Once
love
you
it.
know that you can say no and be unflappable, it's intoxicating.
Wow.
Now I'm looking for
Wow.
stuff to say no to.
Absolutely. It is. Once you taste it
Yeah.
and get it
Yeah.
going. So is there anything on any particular day that you would say is a routine
Mhm.
around rest? Do you just take a walk around the campus? How do you kind of insert just those small moments of rest?
Yeah, so I start my morning out with meditation, Peloton meditation.
Okay.
Chelsea Johnson Roberts is like my favorite person in the world. So I meditate with her,
Mhm.
and I'm a big walker.
Okay.
So I love being outside at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning
Wow.
because the humans aren't out.
Correct. And the
And
campus
so
is so
the
beautiful.
campus is
It's
beautiful,
beautiful.
and you
Yeah.
get a chance to really smell and experience God's creations
Mhm.
without the distractions. So
Mhm.
walking and taking in fresh air, like
Yes.
I didn't know that was a thing,
Mhm.
but air is
Yeah,
a thing,
it
and
is.
fresh air
That's right. Makes your
is,
energy
it
warm.
gives you energy. And so
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
committed to walking in the morning and
Wow.
meditating. And I do
Mhm.
that in the morning. And there was a time when I did it in the evening,
Mhm.
but I found these last, 7 or 8 years
Yeah.
that walking in the morning fuels my day
Mhm.
and puts me in a different headspace for the rest of the day as opposed to doing it at night.
So, yeah. It's so funny. I used to say when my kids were little, I used to get up really, really early just to get my life organized. And
Yes.
then I kept that routine for years. And when people would ask, I would say, this is the only time of my life that doesn't belong with someone else.
For me.
For me, right? After 6:30 or 7,
Yes.
the rest of my day belongs to someone else.
Here it's
Right?
it's
Right?
at 8 o'clock, all
Mhm.
bets are off.
That's right.
Even
That's
the
right.
calendar
That's right.
is
That's right.
really
That's right.
whimsical as it
Mhm.
relates to the events of the day.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so carving out that time where you are clear,
Right.
you're energized.
Mhm.
The nighttime isn't it for me
Mhm.
because I'm giving everything that I have throughout the day.
Mhm.
And so that morning time when it's fresh
Yeah.
to do, for me, that's my time.
Yeah.
And I try to, disrupt the idea of being responsive to anybody else.
Yes. Yeah.
That's my time. And
Cool.
I feel like I'm owed it.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
feel like I'm owed it.
Absolutely. And with that mindset, then you will own it.
Yeah.
Right? When you know you deserve it and that's your time and you can control that time.
Yes.
It makes a world of difference. And so I have to ask you this question, and I'll start with my response is, when do I know I need rest?
Mm,
And not just the day to day you're tired, but I realize that when it's hard for me to make clear decisions,
mhm,
when I'm getting testy and too direct with people,
mhm.
like that's a sign that I've got to pull back. Like something is off,
Yes.
right? So my
Yes.
question for you, I'm sure there's signs that your body gives you, but there are other things that make you say, okay, I need to just go. I need a minute. I
Yes.
need a timeout.
Yes.
Yeah. What are those things for you?
The one that you mentioned was that, I'm passionate.
Mhm.
Um, and when I feel that passion going a little more than
Yeah.
passion, I need to go be by myself so I can
Yeah.
recalibrate.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it's really interesting that this really leads into both intuition and knowing yourself, being so clear about who you are and recognizing your own cadence that you know when you're off cadence.
Mhm.
And so one of them for me is when I'm about to go in on something or someone, when it
Yeah.
doesn't call for that,
Right. Right.
I
Right. Right.
know I need to go,
Mhm.
go to Waffle House and have
That's
me a
right.
quick
That's
breakfast.
great. All-star breakfast.
Yes.
Everything.
Scatter, smothered, and chunk, golden waffle,
Sounds like medicine to me.
grits in a
I'm just
bowl with
saying.
cheese. Yeah. But it's, I'm in tune. I'm at this space in my
Yeah,
life
yeah.
and my career,
Mhm.
at both as a leader, um, that I know when I'm at that point, and it's when I'm getting antsy. Also, when I'm really vacillating on a decision,
Right.
that is a clear indication that I'm not fresh.
Right.
I
Right.
need to either remove myself from the situation
Right.
or I need to go re energize. The other piece for me is around the middle of the semester. We start in January, around March.
Mhm. Mhm.
I know that I need to find me 2 weeks.
Wow.
I need to find me 2 weeks
Wow.
to either cruise,
Mhm.
not hurt myself, to put
Right.
boundaries. I'm going to work from 10
Right.
um,
Right.
I'm going to work
Right.
from 10 to 4,
Right.
right? And that's it.
Yeah.
And so it's those things you can feel the energy, because if I don't, by the time 1 o'clock comes,
Right.
I'm in meetings,
Right. Nodding. Right.
nodding.
Right. Not bringing your best.
And that is
Yeah.
my last point.
Yeah.
When I'm not bringing my best,
Right.
that's when I know, okay, you need to go and pull up.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And so my last question, you've shared just so many gems that I think people can really take into consideration. And when they see someone like yourself, they they see the serious side, they see the work side, or they see you with the students, but no one really thinks about this person needs time to reset. This person needs time to exhale. And so with all of that, I would say, as you think about the work you've been called to do, what is the most rewarding part of your role? And then how do you take time to celebrate that?
I'm poor at celebrating.
Okay. Most leaders
Um,
are.
yeah, and I'm trying to understand that pathology,
Mm-hmm.
right? Why?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because I'm enslaved to this idea that I was never enough, and that even the external noises of my institution not being one of the big institutions. So Muhammad Ali plays in my head all day on 10. I'm going to show you how great I am.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of dampers my quench for celebration. And I'm learning
Yeah.
to celebrate the small victories.
Yeah.
Um, and but I'm driven,
Right.
and that is a gift,
Yeah.
and that is a not so
That's
gift,
right. That's right. That's right. That's
certainly not a
right.
curse,
Right.
but
Right.
not so much of a gift at
Mhm.
times.
I call it the weight of a blessing.
That's it. That's it.
It's the weight you
That's it.
carry
And
with such a blessing.
how dare you, as progeny of the enslaved,
Mm.
as a descendant of the Ashanti people, the Akan tribe, the grandson of sharecroppers,
Mhm.
the son of a mother who had a seventh grade education, who raised 6 kids. How dare you?
Right.
How dare
How
you?
dare you?
How dare you?
That's right.
And that is the other piece that
Mhm.
has this internal flame
That
in my
drives.
body.
Mhm.
The constant reminder that I was not supposed to be something.
Mhm.
Um,
Fuels you all the time.
you have no idea how I
know.
look for people to annihilate.
I know.
Um,
I'm with
and
you. I'm with you.
manufacture reasons
That's right. That's
to
right. That's
annihilate
right.
people. Being dyslexic and
Mhm.
overcoming
Mhm.
not graduating from high school.
Wow.
And the other piece that fuels me is being in circles with people who assume that I have the same pedigree,
Mhm.
and hearing how they really feel about people who
Right.
my pedigree really is.
Right.
That's another piece that really fuels me, and won't allow me to disconnect. Now, I am forced to disconnect. I'm fortunate that I have a board that recognizes my work and
Right.
has recognized that work by awarding me a sabbatical in the summer.
Yes.
I'm fortunate that we work from, August to November, Thanksgiving, and then we have some downtime between December. I'm grateful for the higher education calendar. So I find spaces
good.
in that. And I also have a wife and a family that's demanding. And I also love other stuff.
Right. That's right.
So
This
that,
isn't your life.
yeah,
Right.
this
That's
isn't
right.
my life.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of people talk about their the presidency on leadership is lonely. I detest that comment.
Wow.
It's isolating.
It is isolated. Agreed.
I'm full. I have family, friends, and hobbies, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So I'm not
Love it.
lonely.
Right.
It might be isolating, but I'm not lonely.
Right.
And so that helps me, even when I don't want to. My wife has times where we're going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And because I like peace
Right.
and going, when she says,
That's one of those routines
that's one of
that you
those
have to,
routines.
that's right.
And that really is caked into
I love
the
it.
work-life integration.
Absolutely.
So
It is.
that is it for whatever it's worth.
Yeah. But Dr.
That's it.
Felton, I think the world will be better after hearing this because um, you and I had the conversation ahead of time. Most people, most leaders, number one, don't take the time
That's right.
or don't think about this conversation. And hopefully it will encourage people to think about it more
Yeah.
and start new routines that will give them. I always say, we're not designed to just run for 30 and 40 years and get a gold watch. We're not designed that way. And then you get to the end of your journey, and so many people you hear about a month after retiring, they're not here anymore, right? And so, what are those things we do now
Yeah.
to make sure that our life stays rewarding and that we have a life after this, after the work that we do? So, I so appreciate you. Thank you so much for the time.
It is my pleasure.
And
Thank you for having
continue.
me.
Absolutely, and continue being inspiring. As you all say, go forth inspired. You're definitely an inspiration.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
My hope for you is that you are constantly reminded of how amazing you are.
Thank you.
My hope for you is that you find the time to insulate yourself from yourself.
That's good.
My hope for you is that increase in ways that are unimaginable
Mm.
find you and suffocate you.
Ah,
And my last hope for you is that you're able to do the work of
Mhm.
impact. The idea of unconditional giving and service is something that finds not many of us. And I'm happy that it has found you.
Oh, thank
And I
you.
pray that it continues to rest, rule, and abide in everything you do, and that you find replenishment in the more impact you're responsible for to others, and that it again re-energizes you to do even more.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. That is very hopeful. And Dr. Felton, my hope for you is that you do not grow weary in well doing. You have such a call in your life, and you're such an inspiration to the next generation. When I think about people in your role, when I think of Black men in powerful roles that are making such a lasting impact in the earth. My hope for you and others like yourself is to just remember to fight the good fight. Be okay. It's okay to make good trouble because you do make good trouble. And to continue to keep those gems in front of you around your family and your Harley and all of that. And I just hope that whatever you feel you've been called to do now and in the future, you just lean into it. And I pray and hope that you have all of what you need, the resources, the rest, the mind, to do what's in front of you because you're definitely a game changer. You're a world changer. And because of you, the world is hopeful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So this is my keepsake moment from Kelley. As I think about Dr. Felton, Dr. Felton's insights remind us of the importance of balance, intention, and the small rituals that keep us strong in leadership. As he shares creating space for a break for the visionary, it's crucial. And it's crucial not only for personal well-being, but for the well-being of those we lead. So to Dr. Felton, we thank you. Thank you for being a leader in the space of creating space to reset.
You have just listened to an episode of Life in Leadership Unplugged with Kelley Cornish, the president and CEO of the T.D. Jakes Foundation, the organization that envisions a world where every community thrives.